I say the process of developing the Totem series, it's been a 2-year process. From the time of talking to Ken about doing a signature model, just the different ideas, and when they came up, what was so amazing was that there was never a point where, well, we can't do that, or, they never had a Floyd on their instruments before. And I said, well, how would you feel about doing a Floyd and a V-shaped neck? They were like, oh, cool, let's do it, And the whole time, it's been a kind of collaborative process where no idea was considered outrageous or, and actually in the design of the guitar, I wasn't so dictatorial about, like I wanted to do hobo signs for the fret markers. And we're talking about the fact that the hobo signs were developed, when cats riding the rails and sending messages to each other. And this developed over a long period of time. And Joe was really into it, Ken was into it. Joe was really fascinated by the idea. And I'd sent I had a chart with all the different hobo signs. I took a picture of it and sent it to Joe. And then I also had a chart of these West African Adinkra symbols, which are kind of proverbs. And I sent those to Joe as well, and he was like, well, we went back and forth. But Joe placed the symbols on the neck as he felt. I didn't say to him, put this there, put that there. It was kind of like an exchange of materials, and then Joe crafted those materials to have the instrument look the way it does. And the other thing too is, I'm a photographer and a multimedia artist myself, and I've worked with video and things like that. And so I was an analog photographer with film, and I've gone all the way through digital photography, autofocus, Photoshop, or Painter, if people remember that program, turning photographs into illustrations. And when the beginnings of the whole AI, prompt illustration or prompt photograph thing came in, I became really interested in it. And I started messing around with DALL-E. So I made a few of these kind of prompt-generated images and sent them over to Joe. And Joe picked out 3 of the ones that resonated for him, and then he manipulated them further and made them fit on the guitar bodies. It's a combination of technology, but also Americana, and and also traditional African symbols, and it's really the combination of all those things that are what makes the Totem series guitars what they are. So this one is Shaman. The idea of the figure who is able to, almost like a seer, can look into what's happening in the times, what's happening in your life, and give you instructions, tell you. The shaman has a way of taking the natural world and translating it. And that was the idea. Interestingly enough, when I played with the great jazz drummer, Ronald Shannon Jackson, he had a song called Shaman, so that stayed with me. I thought about that, and that's the inspiration, That and listening to a lot of Terence McKenna was inspiration between Shaman. Mystery Tramp is really, in a way, an homage to the people that rode the rails. And also, he's a figure in the song Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan, the Mystery Tramp. And that was the inspiration between, for Mystery Tramp. And Talisman is essentially about the guitar as a fetish object, as an object of transformation and magic, and that's the inspiration behind Talisman. And all 3 of them are the Totem series.